Good afternoon. It's tea time, number 66. Before we steep our tea, let's first prepare some hot, freshly boiled tap water. As our water heats up, let's take a look at this afternoon's tea. This afternoon's tea will be green tea by Lipton. This is a green tea, and there are 20 tea bags to the box. There's no description of this tea. However, there's a short paragraph about flavonoids. I'm not sure what those are, but I think they're supposed to be healthy. So let's just read this tea's brewing instructions. For the perfect cup, 8 ounces of water at 212 Fahrenheit, steeped for 2 minutes. Now that doesn't sound right to me at all. I still want to steep this tea at 175 degrees Fahrenheit because this is a green tea, and I'm now at a crossroads. What I'm going to do is steep this tea at 175, even though it shows this tea should be steeped at 212. Yeah. We have our hot water here. Let's steep this tea, or open this box first, then check the temperature of the tea to make sure, the temperature of the water to make sure it's at 175, and then we'll steep this tea for the recommended 2 minutes. The water is now just about at 175, so we're free to steep this tea. We've reached our 2 minutes of steep time. Let's try this tea. Off the bat, what I'm getting from this tea is that it's not exceptionally fragrant or exceptionally tasty. This tea does taste a little bit diluted, but it's still pretty smooth and elegant to some degree. I'm getting some dryness on the aftertaste. There is some vegetal qualities, which is really nice. Yeah, there's some emptiness and some airiness in this tea, which definitely isn't a turnoff, but I don't think this tea is any more complex than a classic green tea. I think it's certainly could be categorized as less complex than those classic green teas that I've had from Harney and Sons in particular. This tea's body is really interesting because it's a little bit viscous. It's certainly there, but there's an airiness, there's an emptiness. But I think the tea is clear. It just isn't stating something loud. I'm really enjoying this tea. You know, it's hard not to have stigma when it comes to specific brands that's maybe their quality is known to be not so great, or word on the street is they make crappy whatever it is. So Lipton in particular, I think, takes a lot of heat. But there's a reason Lipton is what it is, and so many people have Lipton in their cabinets and in their homes. And it's because I think the tea has been incredibly consistent for forever. Especially its black tea. Honestly, it's green tea I don't see very often. But this tea's been cool. It's hard for me really to get a full picture of this tea, simply because it's so like I said, diluted and not super present, even though I think it is stating something clearly. It's just not, yeah, it's not really pushing the limits of the flavor palette in terms of green tea, but it is tasty and it is soothing. I think that's a good word for this tea, a soothing tea that doesn't necessarily bring anything more to the table. I'm going to take some more sips here and try to give it a clear and fair rating. This tea gets a 7.9. It's right there, but I just wish it brought some more vegetal qualities. I want more green in this tea. I want a little bit less water. It's interesting, a lot of the time I complain about these teas as being way too saturated, way too heavy, but this tea's body is nice and medium, light medium almost, except for the fact that there's some viscosity, there's some green going on, like some patch of seaweed grass, some cabbage or spinach going on. But pretty airy tea and tasty overall. I'm happy that I have this tea now, and also I feel like this tea can compete with a lot of other teas that I thought it couldn't, and it's nice to just be more open, especially to larger brands like this. And I think that's it. I'm going to continue to try this tea and taste it, but I'll leave you guys with that. Thanks so much for being here, and I always appreciate a like or a comment or just a hello. Whatever you have out there, if you have something for me, just throw it my way. Maybe you didn't like this review. Who knows? Cheers.